Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Solar Journey. Today, we continue our deep dive into life in the multiverse, the extraordinary revelations of Bapuji Dashibhai Patel, a visionary whose spiritual insights transcend time and dimension. In this episode, I'm honored once again to be in conversation with Kamaljit as we explore Chapter 10, our Milky Way Galaxy, also known as Akash Ganga or Maha Brahman. We'll unpack not just the structure of our galaxy, but its divine hierarchy, the roles of Mahashiva and Mahashakti, and how our galaxy is not just a collection of stars, but a living, conscious creation filled with supreme light and divine order. So stay with us as we open the cosmic doorway to galactic governance, layers of consciousness, and the infinite creation. So let's begin. Welcome back, Kamaljeet.
Thank you for having me again, Vani. It's a pleasure to be here. And yes, let's begin with this chapter 10 about our galaxy, Milky Way, Maha Brahma, and Akash Ganga. It is an interesting chapter.
Yeah. My very first question to you would be is what is the structure of our galaxy, the Akash Ganga and the Maha Brahman, and where are we all located, or where is it all located
in? Yeah, generally as science and what we have learned through the books, it's pretty much the same for basic definitions to understand. Galaxy is known as the Milky Way in modern astronomy, and Akash Ganga or Maha Brahmand in ancient and spiritual terms of Sanatan Dharma that they are mentioned in the Shastras and the Vedas. So this is a spiral shaped galaxy, and it has a massive disc shaped center from which spiral arms extend outwards like tendrils of energy. It is a form of consciousness itself, Scientists estimate its visible diameter to be around 100,000 light years. But the thing is that our solar system or the Brahmand is not located at the center, but it is in one of the outer spiral arms called the Orion Cygnus arm, which is sometimes referred to as the Aryan belt, derived from the nearby constellation of Orion, the Hunter. And our solar system takes about 225 to 250 million years to complete one revolution. But from a divine perspective, the galaxy is not just a mass of stars and planets. Of course, they are there. They provide it a certain structure, and the beings in the galaxy, one can say. It is a living, conscious creation of Mahashiva, a supreme incorporeal being made of Param Prakash, the highest divine light. The entire galaxy is a cosmic organization with purpose, governance, and spiritual hierarchy, and not a chaotic explosion of matter as many materialistic theories propose, and as science of today proposes. That is what their research or findings are, but that is not correct.
in? So my next question would be is who is Mahashiva and what is his role in the galaxy?
So, as Bapuji has said, shared, in multiple stanzas, that Mahashiv is the supreme creator and controller of the galaxy. Like there is a hierarchy of the celestial bodies, the way they were created, and that is how the creators are also identified depending at what time and at what level they created the celestial bodies. So, like I said, Mahashiv is the controller of the galaxy, residing at the very center of the galaxy in an incorporeal form. And unlike the deities we commonly hear about, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva of our solar system, that is the Brahmand, Mahashiv is a being of a higher order, possessing 8 to 12 degrees of celestial power. That is the kala that Bapuji says he has got about 8 to 12 degrees of celestial power or kala. And you can understand him as a being of Param Prakash or supreme light. It is the purest form of light, and his abode is known as the Maha Dham, or the supreme divine abode, and it is located in the center of the galaxy. It is totally bright and white, where but it cannot really be photographed. This is where creation originates and where the highest divine energy resides. Mahashiva is not directly involved in the day-to-day administration of the galaxy. Instead, his Shakti, like when Mahashiv has to create, he releases a form of energy, there is something he produces from within his own system. And this is called the Shakti, his feminine counterpart. And that manages the entire system, and the working in the galaxy through its vast hierarchy of divine beings. So Shakti is, sometimes people, generally may call her as a goddess of a very high divine order. So this is about so she is the Mahashakti. And scientific instruments and cameras, like I said, they cannot really get a snap of it, through multiple telescopes and whatever. It seems to be like a supermassive black hole.
Yeah.
And because it is a space that is filled with radiant supreme energy, it's the seat of pure consciousness. And it will have the energy of very high supreme measure of divinity, in a way we can call it. It will have a very high celestial power, and could be even a 5 kala celestial power. Yeah.
And then, so how is this galaxy administered, and what is the spiritual hierarchy with everyone?
So, I just shared, the administration of the galaxy is handled through a deeply structured, system originating from Mahashakti, the subtle divine feminine form of Mahashiv. She first creates 108 Mahashaktis from her inner core, like Mahashiv, created Shakti. He created one form from his own self. And so she creates 108 Mahashaktis from her inner core, and then 16,000 Mahashaktis as the outer core of that system.
Mm-hmm.
These goddesses manage and balance the operations of the galaxy. We are talking about the Akash Ganga, and different galaxies also have a similar system. It could be different, it could vary slight, it could have a different organizational structure as well. And beyond these goddesses, then you have Maha Vishnus are created, and they are followed by Maha Brahmas and Maha Indras. Each of them has been assigned their own specific duties in the solar system or the Brahmand. And every solar system will have its own corresponding deity as well. A Maha Brahma for creation, Maha Vishnu for sustenance, and Maha Indra for governance and control of natural forces. So, like sometimes they even say that Indra is the god of the rain and the seasons, like whenever there is chaos and there are disasters because of climate, the people start worshipping Indra. That is what people used to do in the olden days, even now. And in case there are disputes, like any other system, any other organization, and like, even in our local systems, there will be disputes, something or the other that happens. So it happens in the galaxies too. The conflict resolution flows up this chain from Maha Brahma to Maha Vishnu to the 16,000 Mahashaktis and finally to the 108 Supreme Mahashaktis. Only in the rarest of rare cases, when none can resolve the issue, Mahashiva is invoked. So this form of governance is unlike anything found on earth. It is perfect. It's a cosmic law in action, rooted in compassion, wisdom, and light.
So then what is Param Prakash and why is it not detected by science?
So yes, Param Prakash is the supreme light. It is a divine light. I will just give you an example of one saint. He is not in his physical form, and somebody shared their experience. I just watched it on YouTube. It's been a few years, and he used to have a massive following, and he was known for his compassion and kindness. And when he would meet people, he said his presence on earth is only to help humankind. And because he foresaw that, that there's a huge, earth is going through a huge problem of its own and people are going to be in a lot of trouble, he wanted to help them out. So, help them out in their personal lives. Spiritually, of course, he would direct them, but he would also, there are very few masters who who would say that, okay, you have a problem in this life, I will help you out with it. Many saints and sages, they don't want to get into it. They say you work on yourself spiritually, and deal with your own problems. That is your karma. But he would say, yes, it is your karma. To a certain extent, I can help you. So somebody had come to take, and he took photograph, of the saint. And despite of the saint telling that person that not to take the photo, but he couldn't. When he took out the printouts, it was all black. He couldn't see this, so it is interesting.
Yeah.
It just came to my mind because Param Prakash is supreme divine light, the original energy of creation. It is subtle, incorporeal, and it is infinitely powerful. It does not belong to the electromagnetic spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
So it is invisible to physical instruments. This is why scientists will see a mysterious gravitational pull, because you will see that it's a huge, they say that there is a lot of gravity there is a gravitational pull there, and objects it will just end. That will be end once it sucks in all the celestial bodies. So, and at the center of the galaxy, this gravitational pull is called, and they call it a black hole actually.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But Bapuji has revealed that it is in fact the Mahaparam Dham. It is a space full of bliss, light, and infinite energy. It is not touched by the lower vibrations of material creation. This light is the soul of Mahashiva, and it gives rise to all other creation within the galaxy, from the solar systems to the divine beings.
So, how many solar systems exist in the galaxy then, and what is their composition?
Can you repeat that again?
How many solar systems are there in the galaxy, and what is their composition?
Yeah, interesting. According to modern science, there could be about 200 trillion stars and potentially 50 trillion planets in our galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
Among them, 500 million may have temperatures which are suitable for life, for creating this life forms. And Bapuji spiritually explains that infinite solar systems are continuously being created and destroyed within the galaxy in the blink of Mahashiv's eye. I mean, they are being created and created by Shivas. There are infinite number of Shivas. They create and they destroy. It just keeps happening. It's in the blink of an eye. Mahashiva's eye. And each solar system typically is composed of a physical dimension. That is, physical form is called the Sakari form, and it has planets, stars, and living beings. And then there is a subtle dimension that is called the Suksham. It is the Suksham and it is called Akari. It is a subtle dimension and inhabited by divine and ethereal beings. So when every person, like we have taken a physical form, so we have these forms. Each one of us, we have this. We have our soul consciousness, we have our subtle form, and then we have the physical form, which we all see because of our eyes. We see each other. So in the incorporeal realm, what exists is the Nirakari, the unseen, the soul consciousness. That is a divine consciousness where souls originate, or they will return there after liberation. That is. And the elemental composition is, it's about 80% of ether or the Akash Tattva. 10% is air, that is the Vayu Tattva. And 10% is fire, that is the Agni Tattva. Now, these are the elements of the Akari or the subtle dimensions. Like, in the physical world, we are made up of 5 elements, right? Then when the bodies become heavy, the Akari forms becomes heavier and it takes the physical form, the Sakari form. Then this earth and water elements get added to it. These subtle elements.
So my next question is, what are the layers beyond the prime spiritual beings in the galaxy?
The Akash Ganga, the galaxy, is structured into, has got multiple layers for different purposes. In fact, I will share a diagram also, which Bapuji has given in the book.
Mm-hmm.
We can share the diagram in one of the slides.
Yeah.
There are 3 inner layers that are shelters for the traveling souls, because like in our previous videos, I think somewhere we must have mentioned also, but Bapuji has said there are souls that travel through various galaxies and universes. They are very high-powered souls, and they are traveling, and these are beings created by Mahashiva for journeys of spiritual exploration and or maybe service to help communities in that system. And then these are the 3 inner layers, and then there are 3 outer layers which are for tourist souls. That these are beings from other galaxies or universes who just simply come to visit the galaxy. They will roam around and they will just roam around and see for themselves, and then they'll go back. And So they can rest here for a while, they can stay there it is a layer, it is hard to describe, in fact. Bapuji's son Anand Bhai Patel had also asked in one of his conversations with Bapuji, saying that, how do we know that this is a room, we know this is a space, but that is something which we cannot perceive. So Bapuji has said that you have to experience it yourself. These are layers. These are unseen layers. It is a kind of a dimension, and there are no physical realms like that. But these realms are there. So these tourist souls will just stay in the outer layers, and these also protect the galaxies from negative souls from entering. Also, these layers are there is a protective shield also, and each layer is composed of supreme elements, and it offers, as I said, sanctuary for various souls. These layers act like cosmic boarding stations, providing rest and transition zones for evolving consciousness. And this it is so interesting that it reveals that our galaxy is not just a physical thing that we are talking about, made of, maybe rocks and gases, and some kind of unidentified matter and, whatever, air, but a multi-layered, a multi-dimensional realm of incredible depth and complexity. Even in the simple conversation, we can feel how complex it must be, the nature of the elements, and how this could have been created, and how well thought. Like Bapuji says, the entire system is so well managed, and these are very high, to just for the layman's mind. These are very high standard, very complex computers who take care of a lot of these things.
That is very interesting.
It sounds very interesting.
Yeah.
And the more I read about it,
so many moving pieces. Like if one thing falls, then it's like a domino effect. Like you don't know the scale of the universe, and then everything that's there. It's just so huge. It's it really makes you think of how small you really are in this grand cosmos of the universe, and like everything is, there's just so much going on everywhere. So
there are souls that are able to tap into the consciousness of the various celestial bodies. Yeah. Just today, in the morning, I was listening to a video by Matthias Di Stefano. He is a soul from the Sirius constellation, and he says he has to tap into the consciousness of the Pleiadian system. He can't do that, because it's a different system, and tapping into. So this is such a
different software.
Yeah, he says you download the software.
The learning curve.
You tap into the system and you download the system. Yeah, and he has explained that how you are able to work with your mind, and there are certain subtle fields, and you need to align them. And like Bapuji said, more and more people will be awakening now, and they will be talking about it. So we are listening to so many different people that, but they are talking about individual celestial bodies and the systems, whereas Bapuji is talking beyond multiverses, beyond many, many multiverses. And then he's coming to this point as well. Yeah.
So then what are Kala, degrees of celestial power, and how do they affect our creation?
Yeah, and so we have been using this word very often. So Kala is the unit of measurement for divine power. It is also known as the celestial potential in a soul or a creator. Like, even in our day-to-day life, we meet people, they say that, okay, I thought of it and it just happened. I just got it,
Yeah.
So it is not that he did nothing and he got it. He has definitely taken some action, but the thing is, the intensity and the power within the soul is so strong. But whereas there are other people who will have a thought and they will, and maybe try to work with it. They are not able to get much. They are not able to, they might have to do a lot of more work before accomplishing it, because they don't have that kind of soul conscious power, the power in the soul consciousness. So it is not that they haven't woken up to their own potential.
So you have to work towards that.
Yeah, and there is also a limit to that also. You can only wake up to the level with which you were originally created.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. You
So
mentioned that.
Yeah. So Mahashiv himself was, itself is of say about 12, maximum 12 celestial degrees power, or 12 kala power. Then the souls he is creating are also going to be maybe equivalent, but generally less than his power. So the souls of that power, they can only maximize their potential to that, right? They cannot go beyond that. So the higher the kala, the more divine and more powerful is the soul. A creator with 1 to 4 kalas can create small or limited solar systems. A Mahashiv with 8 to 12 kala can create entire galaxies. Infinite kala is equal to eternal infinite creation beyond time and space. Our galaxy, this Akash Ganga, is made from 9 kala, and 5,000 Mahashiv years have already passed. And since 1 second of Mahashiv equals 100 years of Brahma, the time scales are immense and mind-boggling. Right? Even now they are saying we on this planet, for our planet, we are entering into the last stages of the cyclical time. This is, when Kali Yuga is moving towards another phase of that is the golden age or the Satyug, and this is the age of confluence. But then this also, there are still many lakh years, still left. So creation is not random, but directly linked to the strength and the purity of the soul that initiates it.
That's beautiful. So how does creation begin in a galaxy, and what is the process?
So creation in a galaxy will follow a process of divine affirmation. What is this affirmation? Affirmation is the sankalp, and it also begins with the intention. You create a thought, you have an intention, and this is it creates a sankalp by Mahashiv, and depending upon his kala or depending on his power. Mahashiv this way will create multiple incorporeal Shivas from his being, who are fragments of his supreme light. So, it is just creating more from within his own, It is not it is not cell division, but creating from within. Okay. These will then take subtle forms such as Akari Mahashiv, who will create a Mahashakti, right? Like we said that they will create a Shakti from within themselves. And then together Akari Mahashiv and Mahashakti will create Maha Vishnus, who will create Maha Brahmas, and who will create Brahmas responsible for the solar system. So Maha Vishnu will also create a divine feminine, right? So in some type of galaxies, there may be only Brahmas. Like I said earlier, that Bapuji has said that different systems, different galaxies will have their own systems. Some their hierarchy and their organizational structure could differ depending on their need and their power. So in some type of galaxies, you will find there are only Brahmas. They may not have Vishnus or Shivas. Galaxies are governed by only Vishnu and Brahma. And there could be galaxies with protective energy sheets and top-down power structures. Generally what is there, the power structure is centered within.
Yeah.
In some of them, they will have the kind of, I don't know, I really cannot visualize it, but then that is what that has been said, that it is the top structure, kind of you can look like a triangular form. It is not really triangular because it is multi-dimensional. So when we are talking about, 3 dimensions, we are looking at a pyramidal structure. It may not be really like that because it has got other dimensions as well. But then it is top heavy. The controlling power is in the top, not in the center. So this creation is very intelligent. It's a very intelligent, conscious being in itself. And there is a hierarchical structure to it. It is deeply spiritual and rooted in the purpose of evolution and divine play. Divine play is also known as Leela in Vedas and Shastras and the Bhagavad Gita. So this is the play of the divine. Like many writers and evolved souls have also said, you are here on a stage as human beings, and you are playing your role, and you are going, and there are people who are enjoying it. There are celestial beings who are enjoying the show.
Wow.
So of course we have to tap into our own energy field to see what is our own inner truth. So that is why meditation and working on your soul consciousness or getting into Atma Swarup is very, very important.
What is the significance of the story from Mahadevi Bhagavad Purana regarding Brahma's ego?
Yeah, this is interesting because Brahma was very egoistic and he felt that he's the creator, and so he has all the power. So to shatter his ego, Mahadevi is a supreme feminine force. She said, this is too much, so she took him for a ride, travel. It sounds funny, right?
Yeah.
But that is what is mentioned in the Puranas, Mahadevi Bhagavad Puran is a collection of, wisdom. And these are supposed to have actually happened. It is not that, because many years ago something happened. We only have the historical facts that will prove us. But the earth has gone through so much of transformation, repeated transformation. So this has happened in times, beyond beginning. So Mahadevi, the supreme feminine force, to teach him a lesson, she took Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva of our solar system, of our Brahmand, on a divine journey across the galaxy. So the galaxy will mean that she took them across various solar systems, various Brahmands in the galaxy. She showed them countless solar systems, each with their own Brahmas, Vishnus, and Shiva, and showed them how they functioned. And they also saw parallel Brahmapuris. There were parallel creations, parallel Vishnupuris, parallel Shivapuris, realizing that they were not the only gods in creation. Because when you feel, okay, you are the supreme and you are the only one, she said, no, you are just a small fry. You're just a small consciousness, So this revelation kind of dissolved their pride. And the teaching, never mistake your role in creation as the highest. There is always something greater and beyond.
Right. That's
One has
interesting.
to be very humble.
Yeah.
One has to be humble, and so you will find a lot of people. They will say, "Oh, like we look at them with awe and awe, and say that okay, this person is really great, done immense things." They might just simply say, "Okay, well, it's done. That's it. I just managed it," and they'll be humble about it. So this story of Brahma and Mahadevi taking him for a ride supports Bapuji's, revelations that there are infinite solar systems, infinite gods, and that the true source of creation is far beyond what we can normally perceive. So there are so many gods and goddesses, but the original creator is far beyond what we can perceive. It maybe one can never really perceive in reality because there are so many levels.
That is true. So my last question would be is how can we relate to this vast knowledge and what is its significance to humanity?
Yeah, this knowledge is not merely to stimulate intellectual curiosity. It is meant to awaken us to our own true spiritual identity. We need to wake up. The moment we wake up to this, we will have a desire to, realize within us who we really are. Who am I? Right? We are not just physical beings. We are souls born from divine light and power, fragments of the supreme consciousness of Mahashiva. By understanding the structure, governance, and spiritual hierarchy of our galaxy, we tend to realize, we should begin to realize actually, that we are not alone. We are never alone. There are cosmic forces that are always guiding this creation. We have beings of light all around us in a way, like, because there is so much that is not seen, and yet there our thoughts, affirmations, and energies influence not just our lives but the entire fabric of creation. Yesterday I also saw another video in which somebody had mentioned that these thoughts that we have, they are not ours. They could be coming from a consciousness, the collective consciousness. There something that is there is something that is called a trend. Oh, this is the trend. This has gone viral, and everybody is talking about it. So we are in a matrix where there is this collective consciousness that is at work. So our thoughts could be created due to the vibrations in the air or in the consciousness, whatever that is being transmitted. So we have to be very careful with our thoughts. The moment we wake up to that and we are able to check our freedom, day one of our freedom begins. So we have to tap into our own soul consciousness to protect ourselves. Our thoughts, affirmations, and energies influence not just our lives. So through our meditation and remembrance of the Supreme Creator, the ultimate truth, and aligning with the Param Prakash, receiving light and power from Param Prakash, and through the Master, the Creator Soul, or the Supreme Creator, we can gradually transcend the physical realm and return to our divine home. The journey will begin. Then there are many stages. We travel through various realms also. So we have to work on ourselves.
That's a very profound exploration and a lot of knowledge that I couldn't even think of. And the scope of the universe and the scale and the organization, it's pretty immense. So, from the outer spiral arms where our solar system resides to the luminous center of the galaxy filled with Param Prakash, we have seen how Babaji's insights expand our understanding far beyond conventional astronomy. The spiritual hierarchy, Mahashiva, Mahashakti, the divine goddesses, and governing forces of Maha Vishnu, Maha Brahma, and Maha Indra show us a galaxy that is not just physical but spiritually alive, purposeful, and meticulously designed. In our next conversation, we will take this journey further into the vastness of our universe, Param Brahman, as revealed by Bapuji. We'll explore how creations emerge in layers, how different universes operate, and how spirituality is a key of understanding it all. Until then, keep expanding your consciousness, and as always, Param Shanti.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you, Vani.